YouTube is upscaling old videos, NVIDIA is now worth $5 trillion, and NZXT getting sued for their rental program. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your Brett host. We're going to be going over the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Thursday, October 30th, 2025. We're going to start off today with the details that YouTube brought out with regards to how they're going to be changing these videos to make them better suited for TV viewing, especially because TV is one of the fastest growing apps that people use to watch YouTube versus watching it on a desktop/laptop or on their mobile devices. TV is seeing some big numbers. So these updates include a thumbnail file limit increase from 2 megabytes, which it has been for a very, very long time. They recommend 720p, all the way up to 50 megabytes. Reece is going to be excited about that. Additionally, they're going to start upscaling lower quality videos up to 1080p, and then eventually will have super resolution to get that up to 4K. However, YouTube does say that they are not modifying original files, and creators can opt out of this if they choose to. There's also some changes coming to YouTube Shopping to make it better for people to buy things off of their couch in case they want to do that via YouTube. I'm not sure if you use YouTube Shopping. I'm curious. You let me know down below in the comments, but I can tell you should definitely shop for today's video sponsor. Is it hot in here, or is it just me? If your PC is running hot, or specifically your CPU, let me let you in on a little secret from today's sponsor, Cooler Master. A not so secret bit about Cooler Master is that they were kind enough to support some giveaways for our recent charity event. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what exactly they provided to a few lucky audience members, as well as offer a sincere thank you to Cooler Master. Let me introduce you to the brand new Hyper 212 and V4 Alpha coolers. Now, we got these early, but you guys can nab these awesome coolers in October. Cooler Master's new 3D HP heat pipe design on the Hyper 212 and V4 Alpha coolers allows for cooling superior to the 2-pipe cooling while utilizing less space in your system. Not only do you get the 3D heat pipes, you also get less noise, with the Hyper 212 clocking in at only 27 decibels and the V4 Alpha following closely at only 30. You might be thinking, smaller, quieter, more efficient, the catch must be the price. Well, you'd be wrong. These bad boys come in at only $49.99, so you can get peak performance on a budget. You grab either one of these two new coolers when they launch in October. A huge thank you to Cooler Master for sponsoring both this video and our event. Well, what we're also finding out before it released is that Samsung is bringing their internet web browser to the PC. Samsung Internet is going to have cross-device support and come out to the personal computer. Samsung saying this beta program unlocks a more connected experience across mobile and PC while setting the stage for more intelligent browsing experiences to come. Looking ahead, Samsung's internet capabilities will redefine how users interact with the web, evolving from a PC browser that waits for an input to an integrated AI platform that understands users while protecting personal data at every level. Very similar to what we've been hearing from OpenAI's Atlas browser, which is based on Chrome. And so if I just had to take a shot in the dark, Samsung Internet on PC might be a Chromium browser. Let me know if you use Samsung Internet reliably because it's the default browser that's on your Samsung device or because you actively choose to. I'm curious how you make that happen. And another piece of software that's getting an update, MSI Afterburner is going to be changing a few things. The next update is going to have a usability update to its voltage frequency curve to make it a bit easier to work with. Additionally, there's reports that it might support the things outside of GPUs, with an engineering sample making its way to the dev behind MSI Afterburner. There's no more information than that. Besides, it's potentially not going to be just supporting the actual GPUs. Video Cards here speculates that this could be an MSI Claw, could be a gaming handheld. I do think that makes a lot of sense. We'll have to see if that plays out. But speaking of gaming console type things, Xbox reporting that their revenue is bad. Their console revenue down 30% year on year for their latest earnings report. And you might be thinking, well, no duh, you raised the prices on everything. No. These are the reports before those price increases, where people are going to be buying fewer and fewer, and retailers are pulling Xbox consoles outside of their retail environments. Looks like Microsoft is very much struggling with the Xbox division in terms of total revenue, which is why in a recent episode we talked about how Microsoft's trying to push Xbox to hit 30% margins, which is going to involve layoffs, price hikes, all that kind of stuff, especially because Microsoft itself, its revenue was up 17% year on year and its profit was up 22%. We'll have to see if Xbox could potentially catch up. They're gonna have to save some money somehow, and Reece is gonna save you and your wallet some money.
Yo, welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals on the internet. And hey, here's your first deal. Starting us off, we have this Pioneer 43-inch 4K 60Hz smart TV for only $99.99, making it $90 off. But then we have this Thermaltake Series 340MX mid-tower ATX case, available in the gorgeous matcha green for $119, making it $20.99 off. But then we also have this Lee & Edge 1000 watt Cybernetics Gold fully modular power supply with the whole weird extender thing going on for $133.99, making it $25 off. And then lastly, if you like LG's take on things, you can grab their Ultra Gear 27-inch 1440p 240Hz glossy OLED monitor for $499.99, making it $300 off. And hey, with that, the deals are done. You can find these and more linked in the video description down below. But until next time, I'm gonna hand you off back to Brett for the rest of your hot news. Cheers.
Well, Reece, AI browsers want to find you the best deals now and use PayPal in order to do it. ChatGPT announcing that PayPal and OpenAI are having a partnership that's going to allow you to use their agentic personal shopper to have access to your bank account, your balance, all of the things that you connect to PayPal, and make it very easy to shop for you on your behalf. I'm curious, how any of you gonna trust an AI to buy stuff for you? Is this just the boomer in me that says absolutely not right now? I'm not nowhere near close enough to trusting this piece of software in order to purchase not just the right things, but also follow my instructions properly. I want to hear from you down below in the comments in case you are a advocate of this type of thing. But NVIDIA's an advocate, and they're using the hardware to power these kinds of things. And in the GTC event that they had yesterday, they showed off their next generation of GPUs, the Vera Rubin. Massive honking wonking chomper of a system that includes one CPU, two GPUs, and can be scaled up to giga scale factories according to NVIDIA. 100 petaflop AI with 88 custom ARM cores, 2 terabytes of fast memory, 6 trillion transistors. Then the compute tray is going to have 200 petaflops of NVL72, 14.4 terabytes per second in the NVLink connection, 800 gigabytes per second of ConnectX-9, 100% liquid cooled, 12 trillion transistors. There's just a whole lot that NVIDIA showed off, and it turns out that the market overall enjoyed it, which is why they have granted NVIDIA the privilege of being the world's first $5 trillion market cap company. This happening just a few months after they hit 4 trillion, which happened about a year after they hit 3, which happened a few months after they hit 2, which happened about a year after they hit 1. NVIDIA has just been on an absolute rocket ship since 2023, since the AI hype has taken off. NVIDIA becoming worth more and more in terms of their market cap. Obviously, there's a lot of talk with regards to a AI bubble that's out there, and you know, it seems like the market's not necessarily scared to keep inflating it more and more and giving NVIDIA a lot of cash. And in case you gave NZXT some cash for their rental flex program for the PCs that they were leasing, there is now a lawsuit that is out there that is not only trying to become class action, but also leverages the Rikus suit in order to bring this lawsuit against NZXT. Rikus suit standing for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organization. It's a pretty serious allegation to bring against these companies, not just NZXT, but also the company that they partnered with to kind of run the entire lease program, known as Fragile, who made all of the business side happen, and then NZXT was just the hardware provider for that, as well as the marketer. Now, there's a couple interesting things to note about this. Number one, that this lawsuit was filed about 3 months ago. August 5th is when it hit the courts. There have been plenty of updates since then, the latest one being October 1st, but if you read it, you will find that the plaintiffs in this situation heavily rely on Gamers Nexus's video about this rental program in order to make all of the claims that they are making in this lawsuit. I'm not saying that's necessarily a good or bad thing. I'm just noting that Gamers Nexus has brought up a significant amount in the notations of this lawsuit, as well as Jay's 2 cents. There are also some other influencers who are noted in this lawsuit, especially ones that had paid partnerships with NZXT surrounding the Flex program, including issues with things like telling your parents to buy you a Flex PC, especially because it was advertised to minors, but people under 18 weren't supposed to be able to buy them. And as you can see, there's about half a dozen other tech content creators out there who are at least listed in this lawsuit, and they're looking to get both a class action going as well as a trial by jury, which could potentially mean that people who were involved in the Flex rental program, where they actually lease these computers, could have a means of getting some damages. But it's not quite clear how far this is going to go. There's 14 counts that the plaintiffs plaintiffs bring against NZXT and Fragile. Some of them are the RICO ones. Some of them are like breach of contract, violation of Washington's Consumer Protection Act, various different things. It's not quite clear how the plaintiffs were affected by the NZXT rental program. We'll keep you updated as all of this plays out, and you can let me know what you think of it down below. Well, I see what you had to say in yesterday's comments. We got Eric saying, got over to CashOS, been running about a month already. Cannot say I miss Windows at all anymore. And then I1 saying, this is the most positive I've seen you over Linux, and I support it. South African here, sending much love. Maybe it's the most positive you've seen me be about Linux. I'm not negative about Linux in general. I think I'm negative about Linux for the average consumer. And I'm gonna talk about my first day with Bazite in a little bit, but I think the notion that Linux is ready for everybody is still not quite true, but it's a very usable operating system. It has its use cases. I just don't think it's mainstream use cases quite yet. And the Red Gold saying, I've installed Bazite onto 5 of my friends and family's machines. They have all absolutely loved the experience, and I've hardly had to step in to help them with problems. And those problems were usually user error. I never thought I would become a Linux advocate, and they feel the same. Good luck with your adventure. All right, so a couple other comments asked, how did it go? Bad. It went bad. Day 1, bad. Not good. Multiple issues. I think the way that I'm choosing to approach this, especially for the video that I'm working on surrounding it, kind of informs the perspective a little bit here, which is I'm trying to see how accessible is this for the everyday person. And just from the get-go, it was not accessible. I had multiple issues that involved me having to access the command line interface, required me going into the BIOS and tweaking various things, as well as had several issues with loading games, running games. I had Bazite lock up completely, and I had to do a hard reset already in the first couple of hours. Just my first day with it from an average consumer experience, it was way worse than Windows. That's just the by and large of it, was that I had a rough time, and it's with a device that has an official profile on Bazite's website. Now, none of that's to say that my video about this is gonna be negative. In fact, you know, I really hope that my initial struggles will alleviate and then it'll just become a smooth experience. But, you know, I had things like my network was dropping out, my touchscreen stopped working, several other things that I have written down, multiple problems all existing. I saw comments where people were like, yes, Linux has been mainstream for a while now. People just haven't realized it. I think just knowing how tech savvy I am, I'm totally comfortable doing all of the things that I needed to do to get it working. But knowing how not tech savvy the average Windows user is, I don't see it. I don't see it just yet. But a lot of you told me CashOS should also be involved. I'll look into that as well. Plenty of you said that you run Arch. We know, we can see it from your fedora that you're wearing. But we'll see. You know, this is day 1 of the experiment. I'm gonna keep going. And this is not the first time I've run Linux. I've run Ubuntu in the past. I've tried out various other ones. Back in 2018, I was on Ubuntu for a machine learning experiment that I was working on. So like I've you know, running PyTorch and TensorFlow on that with a 1080 Ti. I've had enough dabbling in Linux to not be scared of it, but oof. First day, not smooth, I'll tell you that. And I'm gonna smoothly leave this episode. See you back here for more of the hot tech news later.